Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesa Sunyavadi Paschatya Desatarine Om Jnana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Sri Chaitanya Manovistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadhati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Juta Padakamalam Shri Gurung Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatan Sahagana Raghunatan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sadvadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Visakam Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesa Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavanisvari Visabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhuvya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So I'm going to speak in English. I'm not knowing Hindi, so please forgive me. I apologize for the Hindi speakers. So this is part of our preparation in welcoming Lord Nityananda, which is his appearance day will be on Trayodasi. That means on the 14th. Tomorrow is Ekadasi. Tomorrow. Hare Krishna. You have your own calendar or your... Tomorrow is Ekadasi. Baimi Ekadasi. And then the next day, on Sunday will be Dwadasi. And then Monday will be Trayodasi. That's Lord Nityananda's appearance day. So we're going to read from the Chaitanya Bhagavat. This is a very comprehensive description. Like in Chaitanya Charitamrita, is more of the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and the philosophy teachings. And however, we find there are more descriptions of Lord Nityananda in Chaitanya Bhagavat. This is written by Sri Vrindavan Das Thakur. Sri Vrindavan Das Thakur is the literary incarnation also of Vyas. So for the Krishna Lila, it is Vyasadeva, and for the Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes and Lord Nityananda Prabhu's pastimes, it is Vrindavan Das Thakur. And there's so many nice descriptions here of pastimes which you will not see in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. And Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, he did not repeat the pastimes, even though he had informations of those as well, so as not to have the Chaitanya Charitamrita become voluminous, too much the descriptions. Jai Jai Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jai Jai Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jai Jai Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. There is a description of Lord Nityananda's appearance, the place also, in the Madhya Kanda, Part 1, Chapter 3. And this is entitled, very nice description, The Lord manifests his Varaha form in the house of Murari and meets with Nityananda. So Lord Nityananda is disciple of Madhavendra Puri. Yes. And of course, expansion also of Lord Balaram is Lord Nityananda. It's none other than Lord Nityananda is Lord Balaram. Brajendranandana ye sachi sutta hoilo se Balaram hoilo nitai. The same Brajendranandan came as the son of Mother Yasoda. Sachi, yes, Sachi. Brajendranandan is none different than Sachi Sutta. And Balaram also came as Lord Nityananda. So, and even though they were not born like in the past times of Krishna and Balaram, they were born same place, same area, same father, but somehow or other, they're separated. And so in this pastime, Lord Nityananda, he was traveling all over the different places. And then somehow or other, he reached the area of Navadvip. Lord Nityananda, in Tattva, he is the Adi Guru, or he is the original spiritual master. All the spiritual masters are under the, you may say, under the headings of Lord Nityananda Prabhu. And therefore, he is very dear to all the followers of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He says that you will not get the mercy of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu without the mercy of Lord Nityananda. And to get the mercy of Lord Nityananda, we need the mercy of the 6 Goswamis. And to get the mercy of the 6 Goswamis, we need the mercy of our disciplic succession up to Srila Prabhupada and the present gurus in our movement. So Lord Nityananda, he took birth in Ekachakra. How many of you have been to Ekachakra? I've been there once or twice. Very beautiful. It's like Mayapur, but way back more. Mayapur is unexploited. Well, not that really. Not like the same as Vrindavan. Vrindavan is too much exploited. Mayapur, there's not much also. Very few comes from Calcutta, except if they are really Gaura Bhakta. But Ekachakra is way, way more. It's like going back in time. So we'll read. From text 59, Nirantara Nityananda smare Visvambara Janalena Nityananda Ananta Isvara. Visvambar constantly remembered Nityananda, and Nityananda, who is none different from Ananta, could understand this. The purport. In the absence of Nityananda, Visvambar constantly thought of him and realized his original position. Mahaprabhu knew Sri Nityananda as the Supreme Lord Ananta Vasudeva. Yes, Lord Balaram also, one of his expansions is Ananta Dev, who has thousands of hoods and always glorifying the name, fame, form, qualities, and pastimes of the Supreme Lord since time immemorial, and never reached the end of the glories of the Supreme Lord. Keep on glorifying the Supreme Lord. Yeah, Lord Balaram. It says also that Vrindavan is an expansion of Lord Balaram's energy. Where we are right now, which is a replica of the original Goloka Vrindavan, the service of Lord Balaram, he is the Supreme Personality Servitor Godhead. He is the Supreme Lord himself, an expansion of the original form of Lord Krishna. And as Prabhupada says, there is no difference between Lord Krishna and Lord Balaram. The only difference is that Lord Balaram is crystal white in color, and Lord Krishna is blue is black. That's some resemblance with the monsoon cloud or the tamal tree. And the nature of Lord Balaram is that he's there always to serve Lord Krishna. So Lord Nityananda's mood is like this as well, to serve Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And the paraphernalia that Lord Krishna uses, like the slippers, the bed, the dhoti, everything practically that Lord Krishna uses is an expansion of Lord Balaram's energy. So they're inseparable. Wherever there is Krishna, there is also Balaram. And in some pastimes, Lord Balaram is younger and sometimes he is elder. Like in the pastimes of Lord Ramachandra, Lord Balaram is Lakshman, younger. And later on in the pastime, he says, I don't want to be younger anymore. I want to be elder. So in the next yuga, Dwapara, Balaram is elder. And also in Kali Yuga, Lord Nityananda is elder. Same with Vishvarup, as we mentioned earlier. Prasange sunaha Nityanandera akyana sutra rupe janma karma kichu kahitana. In this connection, please hear the narrations regarding Nityananda. I will briefly describe his birth and activities in the form of quotes. Text 61. Radha dese eka chakra name ache grama yanhe janme lene Nityananda Bhagavan. In Radha Desh, there is a village named Ekachakra where Lord Nityananda took birth. We have a beautiful temple there now also. I was there during the inauguration a few years back. Anyone who wishes to go there, they can have a place to stay. Usually when devotees go there, they return back to Mayapur. Few hours of driving by bus or by car. How many hours is that? 5? Wow. But now the road also are nice before. It's is that true? 5 hours? How many? 6? 7? 8? Less. Saranga Thakur Prabhu, how many hours from Shida Mayapur is Ekachakra? It's quite a lot. 6 hours, yeah. Yeah. If you have a good car, then maybe a little faster. So make it a point, next time you go to Shida Mayapur, there's a tour that's been arranged by the temple. You can go visit Ekachakra. The Pandavas, the 5 Pandavas also were there. There's a big banyan tree where the 5 Pandavas are remembered. Madhu Modeswara name deva ache kata dure yare puji ache Nityananda haladhare. Near this village there is a deity of Modeswar Shiva that was worshipped by Nityananda Haladhara. Purport. Lord Nityananda appeared in the village named Ekachakra in Radha Desh, which is on the western side of the Ganges. A short distance from this village is a deity of Shiva named Modeswar, Mayureswar by other opinion. Sometimes Lord Nityananda worshipped him. So devotees also, they worship Lord Shiva as a Vaishnava. Vaishnavanam yata Shambhu. It's not that when they worship, don't be mistaken that if a Vaishnava as a deity of Lord Shiva, you worship him as in equal level of Lord Krishna. This is one of the 10 offenses chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, which is to consider the name of Lord Shiva or Lord Brahma to be equal to or on the same level as Lord Vishnu. So when we go have darshan of the deities of the Lord in Lord Shiva's form, Lord Shiva is also on his own tattva. He has his own tattva, but not really at the same level as Lord Krishna. Text 63 to 66. Se grame vaise viprahadai pandita mahabhiraktera prayadaya locharita tanra patni padmavati nama pativrata Parama Vaishnavi Shakti se Jaganmata Parama Udara Dui Brahmana Brahmine Tanragare Nityananda Janmila Apani Shakala Putrera Jesta Nityananda Rai Sarva Sulakshana Deke Nayana Judaya. Probably even though some of you are Bengalis in nature language, you can tell what is the meaning of this, right? In this village lived a Brahmana named Hadai Pandit, who was greatly renowned and full of compassion. His chaste wife's name was Padmavati. She was a great Vaishnavi and the mother of the universe. Both the Brahmana and his wife were most magnanimous. In their house, Nityananda took birth. Lord Nityananda was the eldest of their sons, and seeing all his auspicious symptoms, one's eyes were satiated. Purport. In that village of Ekachakra lived a magnanimous, renounced Brahmana named Hadai Pandit. His chaste wife, named Padmavati Devi, was the mother of the universe. She was profusely invested with Lord Vishnu's energies. Among their few sons, Lord Nityananda was the eldest. So they are not in the same category, Jiva Tattva, like us, Hadai Pandit and Padmavati, the father and mother of Lord Nityananda. More in the Shakti Tattva, like here. Mother of the universe. So we cannot compare. And his appearance, the appearance of the Supreme Lord, is not like the same as our coming into the material world, which we are bound by karma. They come out of their sweet will only, and also to perform their pastimes, lila, to inspire or to give everyone an opportunity to witness their pastimes so that we'll be attracted to go back home, back to Godhead. This is the main reasons why the Supreme Lord would come. Not just to kill the demons or to establish the principles of religion. More is that to attract us with their pastimes. Even though Lord Nityananda is considered also as an avaduta. An avaduta. Very difficult to understand. Lord Chaitanya, even the academicians, the scholars, they're not able to comprehend. They only thought Lord Chaitanya as a saintly person from West Bengal. They don't understand that he's a Supreme Lord. What to say of Lord Nityananda? Lord Nityananda, he would sometimes play with the crocodiles. Sometimes he would sit on the lap of Mother Malini and take milk from her. Or sometimes he will go no clothes at all. He would be fighting with the crocodile or playing with the crocodile, either or. It's very difficult to understand Lord Nityananda. Along with him also, the cowherd boys, Dwadasa Gopa, 12 cowherd boys came along with Lord Nityananda because Lord Nityananda is not in that mood of Lord Balaram. So again, Ekachakra. It's an amazing place. It's like going back in time. It's like we've been also to Naimi Seranya. It's almost the same mood. How many of you have been to Naimi Seranya? Yes? So many trees. It's like you don't see any Maya there, practically. You don't see, all you've seen is like local villagers selling their wares, japamala, kantimala, no other things. If you have to go shopping, you have to go way far. So Ekachakra is like that as well. Text 67. Tana balya lila adi kandite vistara etaya kahile haya granta bahutara. His childhood pastimes have already been described in the Adi Kanda. If I narrate them again here, this book will become voluminous. So in this part, it's in the Adi Kanda. This is the Madhyam Kanda, or yes, the pastimes of the Supreme Lord. They are divided into three parts: Adi, Madhya, and Antya. Adi means the childhood pastimes, and Madhya means the youth, and the Antya means the later pastimes. So it says there that every day also, Lord Nityananda, along with his friends, they will play and they will create drama. They will have drama, and the people will be crying when they see their drama, their acts, because they will remind them of Lord Krishna or Lord Ramachandra. And they were wondering how these young boys know the pastimes of the Supreme Lord. And they will enact them in such a way that it is almost realistic, almost like you are there during that pastimes. And Lord Nityananda is very beautiful also in his feature. Text 68. E matakata dina Nityananda Rai hadai panditera gare achene lilaya In this way, Lord Nityananda engaged in blissful pastimes as he lived for some days in the house of Hadai Pandit. Griha chadibare prabhu karilena mana, nachade janane tata dukira karana, tila matra Nityananda ne dekili mata, yuga prayahena vashita tudikapita. Tila matra Nityananda putrere chadiya, kota o hodai o janahaya chaliya. Kibakshi karme kiba ya jamanagare, kiba hate kiba bate yata karmakare. Pacheyadi Nityananda chandra chaliyaya, tilalarte sataka bara ulatiya chaya. Nityananda then decided to leave home, but his parents, fearing distress in his absence, did not leave him alone. If Nityananda's mother did not see him for a moment, she considered that moment equal to a yuga. Or his father considered it even longer. Hadai Oja could not go anywhere without Nityananda for even a moment. Whether farming in the house of his disciple, in the marketplace, or on the road, whatever he was doing, he would glance at Nityananda 100 times every minute out of fear that he might live. Purport. Although Nityananda was not bound by his parents' affection, like an ordinary conditioned soul who wants to enjoy the fruits of his karma, and he intended to leave home for the benefit of the living entities, his most affectionate parents would not leave him for even a moment. For this reason, Nityananda Prabhu became morose. His parents would not let him out of sight for even the shortest time. They always stayed with him. In the course of their household activities, farming, acting as priest, traveling and acquiring items, they repeatedly looked at their son, who accompanied them out of fear that their son would leave home. So who can stop the Supreme Personality of Godhead? He can go wherever he wishes. He can stay if he wants. And as parents, they will not want to have the Supreme Lord leave their sight or even live far away. Just like Mother Sachi, when Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu decided to take sannyas, Mother Sachi also requested that he should be a little closer. If not, if he cannot stay in Navadvip, at least a place where it is closer so that he'll be able to visit them, or Mother Sachi will be able to visit her son. So it's the same here. Lord Nityananda is bound by the parents' love and affection, but still he has to go, he has to go. Otherwise, there'll be no Chaitanya Lila. Even in a normal situation, the parents will not want to have their children out of their sight because ultimately they think that they'll be the protector. But who really protects the child? Is it the parents or Krishna? It says that if the child got disease or got ill, you may ask the doctor to treat the child, but it's not in the doctor's hand whether the child will live or not. Ultimately, it is from the Supreme Lord's. So, yes. The parents, this is the natural tendency. They will not let their child to be out of their sight, even the shortest time. What to say here is natural also for Hadai Pandit and Mother Padmavati to not have Lord Nityananda live their place. Text 74-75. Dariya dariya puna alingana kare nanira putaleye namilaya sarire emata putra sange bule sarvathai Pranahaila Nityananda Sarira Hadai. As Hadai Pandit repeatedly embraced him, the soft as butter, delicate body of Nityananda would merge in his body. In this way, Hadai Pandit went everywhere accompanied by his son. It seemed Hadai Pandit was the body and Nityananda was the life air. Purport. The father traveled everywhere with son, and he would always keep him on his lap. Just as the body and life airs are inseparable as one unit, Hadai Pandit, the father of Nityananda, was like the body, and his son was like the life airs within the body. Yeah, inseparable. The son, there is also a saying, like father, like son. Son is like the representative of the father. If the father is not able to attend some occasion, then the father can send his son, which is an extension of the father's body. So same with Lord Balaram and Hadai Pandit. Antaryami Nityananda iha sabajane Pitrisukha dharma pale achepita sane. As the super soul, Nityananda knew everything. He stayed with his father for his pleasure and as a matter of duty. Purport. As Nityananda Prabhu is directly the super soul Vishnu, he knew everything in detail. To increase his father's happiness, he remained appropriately engaged in his father's service. So, super soul, Lord Nityananda, no difference between Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Super soul is called Chaitya Guru. He is the spiritual master. The super soul is the spiritual master from within. And the super soul directly is the observer of everything, the permitter, the controller of everything. If the super soul permits, then it will be done. If the super soul says no, somehow or other also that it cannot be done. That's why it doesn't matter how much we try, and if it's not to occur, we cannot do anything. So this is super soul's function. An observer as well, ultimately, because the super soul cannot fully control whatever the desires of the jiva. So to increase his father's happiness, he remained appropriately engaged in his father's service. Text 77. If you have any questions for what we are discussing, you can raise your hands and we can stop a little bit and then we can continue, okay? Yes? Right. We are going to read that now. You are ahead of time. We're going to read. Yes, there is this sannyasi. Just like, this is compared to the pastimes of Lord Ramachandra, isn't it? Huh? There is a similarity. that King Dasarat, right? He was not able, his heart was like broken also. Who is that sannyasi? Who is the Muni? Vishvamitra Muni. He asked for Lord Ramachandra to accompany him in his pilgrim. Same.
So even before that, he was given.
Yeah, now we are going to read. Yes. Daive ekadina eka sannyasi sundara ailena Nityananda janakera gara. One day, the Providence, an attractive sannyasi, arrived at the house of Hadai Pandit. There it is. Nityananda pita tani bhikshakaira rakalina parama ananda yuktahana. Nityananda's father invited him for a meal and happily kept him in his house. Purport. With great happiness, Hadai Pandit invited an attractive wandering sannyasi to his house and fed him. Since the Panchashuna sacrifices are not meant for the independent sannyasis, they eat at the houses of brahmanas. It is the principal duty of householders to offer meals and other non-duplicitous service to the sannyasis who are situated in the highest order of spiritual life. So this is the Vedic culture that the grihastas would invite anyone, especially sannyasis or brahmacharis, to eat, to purify their places of residence, or the ashram, the grihastha ashram. And what Prabhupada says also, even a few hundred years ago, the grihastas will go outside and would say, anyone who's hungry, please come. We're ready to eat. Do you find that now? No, we have food for life. They will go them and we serve them. We cannot, invite the whole of Vrindavan. So we have Food for Life program. And we serve the sadhus. Yeah. Prabhupada says no one should get hungry within 10-mile radius. So we have that program. So it is the principal duty of householders to offer meals and other duplicitous service to the sannyasis. And also in the story of Srila Prabhupada, Mohan, his father, Gaur Mohan De, he would invite sannyasis also, right? In the Prabhupada Lilamrita, he would invite the sannyasis to please come. He would feed them, give them donation, and he would ask them to also bless his son to be devotee of Radharani. Yes. And it doesn't matter, even if they smoke bidi or whatever, he would still invite them. Usually, it's like that. Sarvaratri Nityananda Pitatan Rasange Achilena Krishna Katana Prasange. Nityananda's father passed the entire night discussing topics of Krishna with the sannyasi. Purport. He fed the sannyasi and spent the entire night discussing topics of Krishna with him. Text 80. Gantukama sannyasi haila ushakale Nityananda pita pratenya sevara vale. In the early morning, when the sannyasi was about to leave, he spoke to Nityananda's father as follows. Purport. Sannyasis do not become bound by the affection of householders by spending much time in their homes. That is why the following morning, the sannyasi was preparing to leave the house of Hadai Pandit and go somewhere else when he began to speak. Yes, the sannyasi should not be thinking, oh, what a beautiful home when they visit the sannyasi. Oh, I wish I have the same one like this. Then they'll get entangled. They will soon to be like a grihasta as well. So, sannyasis, it's like what? Narad Muni, he would only stay as long as what? Yes, that's right. Milking the cow. No more than that. And because also, Prabhupada says, my disciples' parents, they curse me also not to stay in one place more than 3 days. Now I'm transferring also. I'm transferring that curse to them, to my disciples, so that they can preach and they will not stay in one place more than 3 days. So most of the time, Srila Prabhupada would always travel. In 12 years, he traveled the whole world 14 times. That is amazing. I remember we go every summer, we go 25 cities in 2.5 months with my Guru Maharaj. And that is hectic. It's like a whirlwind. No earlier than 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock at night, and then get up for Mangalartik. It's 5 o'clock. Never sleep later than that. It doesn't matter what time we sleep, and we still get up the same time every day. This is our program. Srila Prabhupada is the same thing. He never get a jet lag. He is traveling everywhere, all over the world. And the disciples are so surprised how Prabhupada can do it. He will be this, as soon as they reach the next destination, the program is the same. He would get up early in middle of the night. He will write. He will give class the next day. He would meet the devotees. No such thing as jet lag. So the sannyasi here is like the same thing. He's not bound. He's not attached, of the comforts of the grihasta's residence. Next text, 81 to 84. Something is wrong with this. It's not working again. Nyase bale eka bikshat achay amara Nityananda pita bale ye icha tomara Nyase bale karibana tirta paratana Samhate amara bala nahi kabramana Eyi sakala jestanandana tomara Katadina lage dehe samhati amara Prana atirikta ami dekiba uhane Sarva tirta dekiba na bividha bidhane. The sannyasi said, I wish to beg alms from you. Nityananda's father replied, ask whatever you like. The sannyasi said, I have a plan to visit the holy places, but I do not have a suitable Brahmana companion. Please give me this eldest son of yours to accompany me for some days. I will take better care of him than my own life, and he will be able to see all the holy places. Very fortunate sannyasi. To have an assistant like Lord Nityananda. What can you ask? Anything else you can ask for more? To have an assistant, the Lord, to be your assistant? Then who is this sannyasi? Huh? Excuse me? We don't know. We don't know. We don't know. Let's see. Purport. The Vaishnava sannyasi said, I have appeal. In answer to this, Hadai Pandit gave him permission to disclose his mind. The sannyasi said, now I am engaged in visiting holy places. Since it is not the duty of a sannyasi to light fires and cook, and since everywhere there is a shortage of suitable brahmanas, I do not get meals at proper times. Therefore, I require a brahmana companion. If you give me your eldest son for some time, I will love him more than my own life, and your son will become conversant with various holy places. The word samhati means with or in the company of. Remember also Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu when he decided to travel? But he wanted to go alone, isn't it? He doesn't want to have anyone with him, because if he takes one, everyone would like to come. But he was persuaded to have Ishana, is it Ishani? Ishani. That when he went to South India, he traveled with his assistant. And somehow the servant get attracted by Bataharis, by the gypsies. Can you imagine that? The Supreme Lord is already, the association is there. The topmost association with Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is already there, and still one can be attracted to Maya. See how powerful Maya is? If we have a little bit of distracted a little bit, so Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would not want to live, would not want to go without rescuing Ishan, right? That after rescuing Ishan, says, now you on your own. Because you came with me, I cannot return without you. I have to rescue you. But then after this, you are on your own. Huh? Kala Krishna Das? Yeah, what? Kala Krishna Das. I thought it's Ishan. Kala Krishna, yes. Huh? Okay. Yeah. So Kala Krishna, yes, Kala Krishna. That is the name of that Brahmana. So you can just imagine. So it's not guaranteed that if you're with the topmost devotee, Prabhupada also has so many disciples who is with him, and some of them, they thought Prabhupada is an ordinary person. Some of them, that they left Prabhupada's association. They get carried away by Maya. Some of them, they did not believe that when Prabhupada says that the men did not go to the moon, when they saw the television. I remember I was a young boy when that was in 1969, right? The Apollo 11. We saw it on television, yeah, they went to the moon. But then Prabhupada says, no, they didn't go to the moon. So one of the disciples who's serving Prabhupada says, no, Prabhupada, they went to the moon. Prabhupada says, no, moon is a celestial, heavenly planet. So that devotee, one time he was cooking, and some fire or some smoke come all over the place, and his face was also full of smoke. So he joked that, oh, you must have been to the moon. You must have been to the moon. But that devotee left after some time. So it's no guaranteed, because a tendency is that familiarity breeds contempt. When you get too close to a person and you don't know really who is that personality, then you tend to think that he is of the same nature as I am, or he is in the same level as I am. A servant will always be servant, and the master will always be master. Next text. Suniya nyasira bhakya sudabi prabhara mane mane chinte badahaya katara. On hearing the words of the sannyasi, the pure brahmana became afflicted with distress and contemplated as follows. Prana bhiksha karilena amara sannyasi nadile o sarvana sahaya hinavasi. This sannyasi has asked for my very life, and if I don't give him, I will be ruined. Usually this is the case, because a brahmana, if they ask something from you, you better give. Otherwise, you may get cursed, and worse thing will happen. Purport, on hearing the heart-rending words of the Vaishnava sannyasi, the brahmana became extremely afflicted with distress and thought, I am only the body, and my eldest son is the life heir. Therefore, this sannyasi will take away my life and leave my body here. If I do not fulfill his request, then I will face imminent danger. Will you give your son to a sannyasi? Any parents here? Huh? If a sannyasi come to you, like, one of our guru sannyasis, and ask, give me your son, you will give? Why not? Why not? In America, say, okay, you take, no problem. Okay, you take, no problem. Prabhupada also, during the early days, the League of Devotees, he would have an advertisement. Please come, join. Free prasad, free place, everything free. But no one joined. Please give your son. Sometimes Prabhupada will also, please give your son. I will train him up. In India, it should be like that, isn't it? But no one follows that. No one follows that kind of culture because they're attached to the family, to the children. That is natural. Only very, very pious. Sometimes the children will run away, and then the parents will go after them. There is a story also of Lord Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, when the parents of those who join, if the sons will know the parents are coming, so they will tell Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, and Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur will hid them under his bed. And then when the parents come, he says, what? He's not here. Hare Krishna. And sometimes also, many times, many parents will come here and look for their children because they will say, oh, the last time we've seen is that he is in an ISKCON center and he's missing. So it's okay to look for them, but they don't know the real value. If they give their sons to Krishna or Krishna's service, then their life is perfect. So here, Hadai Pandit was thinking, no, I cannot refuse the sannyasi, otherwise I'll be ruined, I'll be cursed. Same thing with Dasarat. He was thinking like this when Vishvamitra Muni asked for Lord Ramachandra to accompany him. Bhikshukere purve mahapurusha shakala pranadana diyachena kariya mangala. Many great personalities in the past have given their lives to sannyasis and thereby achieved auspiciousness. Purport. It is found in many previous histories that great personalities desiring their own benefit have given their lives to sannyasis. Oh, this is one now. Text 88 and 89. Ramachandra putra dasara tera jivana purve Vishvamitra tane karila yachana yajyapi piha Ramabhine rajana hi jiye tatapi dilena e puranete kaha. Vishvamitra previously begged Dasarat for his son Ramachandra, who was Dasarat's very life. Although the king could not live without Ram, he nevertheless gave him. This is described in the Puranas. Purport. And the request of Vishvamitra, Maharaj Dasarat gave him his own son, who was the very life of Dasarat. This is found in the ancient histories. Although it was very difficult for Dasarat to survive in the absence of Ram, in such situation Maharaj Dasarat gave up his son, who was equal to his own life. Text 1991. Any questions so far? Any other points? Yes, sir. Oh, who gave the Nityananda name? Must be Madhavendra Puri. That is his guru. Well, usually the name of the disciple is given by the guru. Or sometimes God brothers. Like the God brothers gave Srila Prabhupada's name Bhakti-Vedanta. Right? Because he's very scholarly and he has that love, bhakti. But the name he received from Bhakti-Siddhanta is Avaicharan. Right? So usually your spiritual name is given by the guru. But I don't know, I've never heard that initiation of Lord Nityananda. Like Advaita Acharya, where did he get his name from? Must be also from Madhavendra Puri. Nitya, Ananda, eternally blissful. Nitya, eternal, and Ananda means bliss. So Nityananda, one who's always blissful. Aha Prabhu Nityananda Premananda Sukhi Kripa Bala Kana Karo Ami Baro Dukhi. So Lord Nityananda is always blissful, and I'm always miserable. So let me take shelter unto the lotus feet of Lord Nityananda, who is compared to Koti Chandra Susitala. Millions of moons, very soothing, very pleasing. It's like if you work all day long and you have darshan of the moon, it's like you become refreshed. But the lotus feet of Lord Nityananda is compared to Koti, millions and millions of moons that the rays of this, you become peaceful immediately. And Lord Nityananda, it says that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Padayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gora Tvase Namaha. He is the most magnanimous Supreme Personality of Godhead, incarnation of the Supreme Lord, because He gives freely love of God without any condition. But no, Lord Nityananda is more merciful than the most magnificent, because he understood the mood of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in a sense that ultimately he says that Lord Nityananda, he never gets angry. Or his anger will be there. It's only on the surface. Like he got angry with Raghunath Das Goswami. That's why he told him, now you must have a feast for the Vaishnavas. That was the origin of Chida Dahi, right? The flat rice festival. Isn't it? Right? So, yeah, superficially, he didn't get angry with he got hit by the pot, clay pot. He never get angry, because if he gets angry, then the purpose of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's coming will be defeated. It will not. That's why when Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was ready to release the chakra, he says, "No, my dear Lord, no, don't do that. Otherwise, there is no hope in the age of Kali." So, if you really want to get the mercy of Lord Chaitanya, we take shelter of Lord Nityananda's lotus feet. He's more merciful, Lord Nityananda. But we should not take advantage of that. He says that in Navadvip, when you take rest, it's like the same as offering obeisances. And over there, the aparad is not considered as an aparad. This is the magnanimity of Lord Nityananda and Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Unlike in Vrindavan, we have to be extra careful. It is more intense here in Vrindavan than in the land of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Lord Nityananda. Here, we have to be extra careful, everything that we do. But it doesn't mean you don't be careful in Mayapur. You still be careful. But the offenses are very easily forgiven over there because of Lord Chaitanya's mercy. So some devotees, they prefer to live in Mayapur. Some devotees, they prefer to live in Vrindavan. And he says there's no difference between Mayapur and Vrindavan. But there's also a difference. Both are not of this world, but the nature of how devotees live, Mayapur seems to be like a little easier. Yes or no?
Yes.
Huh? Here we always have a feast every other day. I'm sure they have a feast there also every other day, but not as same as Vrindavan. Here it's cold, over there must be like, warmer now. But the mood should be just remain humble and always take shelter of the lotus feet of Lord Balaram or Lord Nityananda and Lord Krishna and Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. They are our only hope. And that's why Srila Prabhupada established Krishna Balaram Mandir to prove that there is no difference between Gaura Nitai and Krishna Balaram. You don't find many temples. Is there any other temple in Vrindavan where Krishna Balaram, they are the main center? Of course, in Dauji, Lord Balaram is there. Or Nandagram, Krishna Balaram. But also Mother Yasoda is there, Nanda Maharaj and his friends, Sudama. But you don't see like our temple. In some temples, I've been, like in Mauritius, in Mauritius, they have a Krishna Balaram Mandir also. And Krishna Balaram is in the center. But not many. Or maybe in France also they have a Krishna Balaram temple there also. Bhubaneswar. I've never been there for a long time. Huh? In South India also? Huh? Yeah. So, they're extensions of our Krishna Balaram Mandir. Ours is the original. So there is no difference between Lord Nityananda and Lord Chaitanya. We're very fortunate somehow that we are here in the holiest of the holy, the holiest of the holiest places in the world. We should not take for granted every moment of being in Vrindavan. Make the best out of Vrindavan and spread the glories of the Lord. I don't know what kind of pious credits that we perform in the past. At least I am. I'm not from India. You're all from India. Yeah? And, Yagyamurti is here, and his children also. But they grew up in Vrindavan, right? They took birth in Vrindavan? Where? Mayapur? American Europe. But still they are here, you know. So, yes. Is there any other points or comments? We have another 5 minutes. Yes. Childhood. What's that? Kuber? No. No. Well, we didn't hear from here. Did you hear? What is his? No. No, we didn't hear. We didn't hear. No. Kuber? No, that's another name. There's no name here. Nitai, maybe Nitai, right? But where does Nityananda came from? This was your question. Because later on, he was not called Nitai. Well, Nitai, of course, but it's called Nityananda. Like Lord Chaitanya, his original name is Chaitanya, but then when he got initiated by Isvara Puri, then he just added Krishna Chaitanya, right? So no, Nitai, yes, Nitai, joy. In Vrindavan we hear more Jai Radhe, more Jai Radhe here than Hare Krishna. But in Mayapur, Shida Mayapur, joy, not Jai, joy Nitai. Joy Nitai. It's Bengali. Joy means happy, isn't it? Happy Nitai. Not more of Gauranga. You don't hear more of... You hear Gauranga if you go to ISKCON. But more, they glorify more Lord Nityananda in Shida Mayapur than Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Anything else? Yes. How can you get escape from Maya? You take shelter of Lord Nityananda's lotus feet. When you prove to Maya, Durga Devi, that you are a devotee of the Supreme Lord, then she will not hold you. She will let you go. So everyone in the material world is under the grips of Maya or Durga to put us into illusion and to not let us get out of this material world. She is a Vaishnavi. That is her duty. That is her service. She's a devotee. But her duty is to help Lord Krishna for the conditioned souls so that we learn, so that we understand that, yes, I'm not meant to be here. So once we prove to Maya Devi that I'm a devotee of the Supreme Lord, not externally, but internally, more internally, because bhakti is more internal. It's not external. It's not because one wears the best kantimala or the best tilak is a devotee. No, that doesn't mean, no. It's more internal. How you really develop love towards the Supreme Lord shows how you serve the Vaishnavas. How you want to broadcast the Lord's glories, the name, fame, form, qualities of the Supreme Lord to others. Maya will let you go. If you're always engaged in Sankirtan, not just chanting, but also speaking and broadcasting, There is no room for Maya. You never think of Maya. Maya will not get in. Maya will be embarrassed. This is not the place for me to come. The whole time we were discussing Lord Nityananda, I never thought of Maya. I never thought of material desires. But as soon as we get out from this door, watch out. Maya will enter again. And where is the sitting place of Maya or lust? The senses, the mind, and the intelligence. That's why we have to purify our senses, engage them in Krishna consciousness, always think of Radhesham, and sharpen our intelligence by reading Srila Prabhupada's books. Then Maya will not have an inch or not be able to enter. And this is as soon as we get up early in the morning till we go back to sleep at night. We have to be always fully absorbed. Then you are Krishna conscious. That is Krishna consciousness. Always thinking of Krishna. Anything else? Yes. How do you get the mercy of Lord Nityananda? Serve the Vaishnavas. How do you serve the Vaishnavas? Please them. How do you please them? Serve them. Okay? Don't criticize. Externally, a devotee may not look like a devotee, but how much he is attached to Krishna, this is how much we can judge. Externally, we cannot judge how big his tilak is or how nice her sari is. No, that's not the criteria of Vaishnava. How much he is engaged in bhakti without any self-interest, without any vested interest, without any motivation, just to serve Guru, to please Guru. Srila Prabhupada. We are here, most of us who lives in Vrindavan, this is our duty. You see, we don't have any other service, not eating and sleeping. No, we have service to do here. To encourage and inspire each other to make advancement in Krishna consciousness. We got nothing to do in Vrindavan except to become Krishna conscious. Isn't it? Do we have any other service here? No. We're not here to enjoy. You can enjoy in somewhere else. Don't enjoy here. You enjoy here, then you suffer more later. No. We don't have any other business here. So to please Lord Nityananda, serve the Vaishnavas. Okay? So we stop here. Anything else? It's 6 o'clock. Later. Okay. Any other points, Tribu? You should continue this, okay? And I believe Prabodhananda Saraswati Swami will be giving also Gaura Katha later on, just before the Gaura Purnima. Right? He is, right? We should have this ongoing. So, thank you very much for your kind attention. Shri Nityananda Prabhu Ke. Gauranga Mahaprabhu Ke. Nitai Gaur Premanande.